What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. Right now, we're going to be talking about the 3-3-5 wide. I know a lot of you guys have been seeing it a lot more than often. Well, a lot more usual than often because of the most recent title update. You know, typically what happens is it is a meta, but people are also running that 2-4-5 odd. There's a lot of issues with that, though, against the run game. The thing about the 3-3-5 wide, though, because of the way it's set up, it can be very, very dominant and ridiculous. And one of the things that the title update did was made it a little bit more OP. So I've played against it a couple times, you know, and I've been able to deal with it. But one of the things that we're going to talk about right now is the way to actually defend it and what you have to have going on in your O-lineman. So typically what happens is most higher tier level players, they will probably put post up on their guards. Now, a lot of you guys don't really understand the assessment of why that's used, and it's not really as good as it was in the past, but I'm going to explain to you guys thoroughly right now, for my veterans and my newcomers alike, why it kind of makes sense in some cases to use it. Now, when you go to it and you take a look at what it actually does, it just lets you know dominant when engaged in double team blocks. And some of you guys are probably like, yo, what that doesn't even really matter because, dude, like, nobody really blocks when dudes are sending these crazy blitzes out of these, you know, formations anyway. But it's not true. It's about the aspect of actually manually going and double teaming certain players. It is annoying, but at this point, you're not going to be able to maintain any time in the pocket when you play against a 3-3-5 wide guy, especially when they audible down and they have like the faster guys on the outside. Realistically, it's a very ridiculous and stupid concept, but the safeties that people put in on the outside, they're able to shed the tackles or just come right in. Very, very rarely will you find somebody that actually has regular D linemen when they audible down to 3-3-5 wide, because it doesn't really matter. The game is designed for that to be the meta defense, so it just works, right? So over the last weekend league, some of you guys are like, yo, Gmia, I faced it every time, like everybody's running it. Obviously, whatever the meta is going to be, people are going to run it because they just want to win. We saw what they did in house rules. Dudes were literally out there kicking punts and field goals to get wins. Like, it's disgustingly sad what guys will go through to kind of get it done. But again, it's in the game, so we're going to deal with it. And we're going to understand exactly what's happening. So here goes the number one option, right? If you choose to have post up on, and like I said, if your O-line is good enough, you don't really need to have abilities on them. Just so that you guys are very, very, clear with this, you do not need to have abilities on your O-line. It's absolutely not necessary. But when you do have post-ups, it will help. The edge protectors, maybe sometimes it'll help, but this year, they've been focused more on letting attributes matter, because last year, I was all over it all year. The attributes didn't matter. If you had the ability, you just did whatever you wanted. Now, you actually have to have certain things in place to make it work. So that's something that people need to understand. It's not as easy as it once was. You do have to be able to, have the right ability, have the right attributes and stuff like that in combination for it to work. So if you decide to go this route with the post-ups, right? No abilities on the outside O-line. So what we're looking at is Quentin Spain and we're looking at Roger Staffold. When you go over here and you look at their numbers, right? They're relatively good right now. He's not really hitting anything 90 other than the pass block, but I'm just showing you guys that we're dealing with like a type of average O-line. Like, these guys are not the best of the best. I think that other guy that's on the Cowboys is better at right guard. All right, so with the way it's all set up now, what do you do when you come out and a guy's coming out and he hasn't taken a shower in 5 months and he's audibling down to 3-3-5 wide? All right, so look, here we go. You're gonna have to start IDing the player on the outside of either side. What does that mean? L1, and you look for the player that you want to, ID, and you're gonna ID the outside guy. If you want to double team, you're gonna have to press L1 and then the right stick and actually go to the double team aspect like that. So what I'm gonna do right now is this. I'm gonna show you guys in an actual quick gameplay and just jump out, just to kind of give you guys the idea of what's going on. That way it's a little bit more simplistic for you. So something like the campaign, we're gonna go over to, let's say for instance, okay, passing. What do they want us to do with this? Complete 3 passes. Okay, so this is fine. It doesn't really matter about anything else other than let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Because this is very, very important for you guys that are like trying to understand. Like, I've had so many people like, Gmia, I have no time in the pocket. Now remember, this can also work against my blitzes, but it's primarily for stopping these idiots that come out and they run 3-3-5 wide. So this is just, the computer's gonna obviously pick, anything random. Let's say for instance, we come out and double offset, right? When you press the L1 button, you're gonna see that M pop up. And this right here, when that pops up, you're gonna press the X button to ID the mic, right? So you're gonna ID anybody that you want. So say the idiot comes out, he audibles down, he has the 2 outside guys. You can ID one, and then when you press L1 again and press down on the right stick, the D comes up for the double team. You can double team the other side. Now look, this is what happens, right? When you see, look at the way, you see how these 2 guys, well actually they only sent 4, so the guy didn't really go over there, so it didn't matter. I wanted you guys to take a look at the right tackle and the right guard just to get an assessment of what I'm saying. When you double team the player, right? Because remember, it's the most outside player. So let's say for instance, this guy is the most outside player. We would double team him in a 3-3-5. So it'll be L1 down on the right stick. You move over to the outside guy, and then you pick the one you want, then you press X. If you're on the Xbox, you're gonna obviously press A, right? Look at what happens when he's double teamed. You see like how both of them go over there, but you see how aggressive my lineman is? Now look, although it's arcade mode, he's not containing. And the reason that I'm showing you that, that's not a contain. When they contain, the way that EA enhanced the game, and it's so stupid, they can still stay wide and still rush at the same time, which is something that they told us you wouldn't be able to do. So let's take a look at that again, right? Now you got the 3 and you got the 2 outside guys. So you only can double team one guy. So the other guy would have to obviously be just a straight ID, the Mike type guy with the blue M, right? Now look, the left guy is double teamed, the right side is ID'd. Now watch what happens. You see, look, you see the way that they're engaging, but they're only sending 4. The problem with the way that the double, the problem with the way that the 3-3-5 wide works is that they're sending at least 5 most of the time. So what I'm showing you right now, it would actually alter the way that they rush. You see what I'm saying? Like you would be able to go over there and actually stop at least one side. Now after you stop the one side, it's up to you which way you're going. Like you're gonna have to be able to figure that out yourself. Like I can't help you with that because I'm not actually looking at you play. So right here, you see like they have the 2 outside guys. I will ID this, double team that guy, and I'm gonna press L1 again, and then press the X button or the A button and ID the right side. Now I expect to be able to run to the left because I double team that idiot on the left, right? So look, this is what should happen. You see like how he engages in that? That generally, the post up guy, the guard usually, because he has post up, he will then come over and help that contain blitz from like just destroying your life. He usually will do that. Is it a guarantee? No, it is not. But it will happen. These things will help you in that situation. Now, again, you do not need to have abilities on your O-line. I am just showing you the way to stop the edge rush. ID one side, double team the other, and pick a side to run to. Because one way or the other, you're gonna have access. Now, the next thing that you guys were asking me about, yo, Gmia, you know, I got Dan Marino, what's up? Look, that dude is garbage, bruh. You should have been sold him. You gotta be able to move around. You can't just, dude, he's good to just sit in the pocket, but when people know what they're doing, it doesn't matter anymore. You see what I'm saying? Not like, right there, I just heard and just hike the ball. Sometimes when you're gonna throw a drag route, you don't need to really do anything. You can just hike the ball and do whatever you want. I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys that. So we're gonna go ahead and return back to the challenges. That's just like a simplistic way to be able to give you a decent amount of time in the pocket to do what you want to do. That's what that was right there. Just giving you that little bit of time to be able to move around, because I don't want my viewers not able to move outside the pocket. Now, when I blitz you, I'm sending 6 most of the time. So you're gonna have to make a quick choice, like, yo, where am I going? What's happening? Whatever. Utilizing that same method. Now, the next thing that some of you guys also do is, if they're blitzing corners, you can also ID the corner as a mic. You could still go further outside and double team the interior lineman. But I'm showing you this just to give you an idea of what the actual post-up does in that double team regard. Like, they didn't send 5, so you can't see it, but what happens is when they send 5, the guard to the side that you double team, he then goes over there and becomes very dominant. Now, if the shed still comes, which happens in most cases, R3, just throw the ball away. But when you manipulate the way that you're able to slide, you know, you can also slide protect L1 to the right or the left with the right stick, you will figure out how to get that side from coming in. The problem with 3-3-5 wide is they'll still come in from both sides if you don't know what you're doing. But it's generally a lot of different formations you can run. Like my doubles, I get decent blocking out of it. You can run wide trips. There's certain formations where you have a running back on one side and a tight end on the other, and then you could just block both those guys, and that pretty much eliminates everything as well. But again, I would definitely look into doing it this way. Am I going to keep this the way that it is? There's no guarantee that I'm going to keep the O-line abilities, because in most cases it doesn't really matter. If you assign the right type of blocking to the player, they will in most cases stop that contained blitz from coming in. So pretty much right now, focus on ID in the mic, focus on double teaming, and then give yourself a chance to run out. If you don't have escape artists, you're probably doing it wrong. But even if you don't and you have a faster quarterback, Danny Dimes, and guys with decent speed, Cam Newton has escape artists also, I would prefer that for all of you guys that are having trouble winning games, because being able to run around is so key in this game. Right now, it's even better than Gunslinger, in my opinion. But I wanted to get this out to you guys because I know this blitz is terrorizing you, and I want to help to kind of make you be able to get the ball down the field a little bit more efficiently. I'm going to talk to you guys and girls next time. You have an unbelievable day. One love, y'all.